So I've told you a story where I was the DM. How about I tell you a story about when I was a player? I'm thinking the time that I played a 9-year-old who ended up committing multiple homicides. This story was the start of a D&D campaign run by my first DM, Miles. We were playing in his campaign setting, Telbara, a fantasy world that he'd been using since before we'd even met. We were supposed to play a bunch of local kids in a small trade hub called Crossroads. The town was quiet, for the most part, with all the amenities you expect to find in a small trade town. The only thing that really stood out was a wizard's tower on the outskirts of the village where a powerful old divination wizard by the name of Valorian had chosen to settle down and retire in. Our party was made of Hope Redsun, a half-orc girl descended from a warrior saint who was sent to study under Valorian after she began developing magical abilities. Rose Gold, the dragonborn daughter of the local blacksmith who dreamed of becoming a merchant, and had a concerningly large spear collection. Lloyd Falconer, a popular half-elf boy who'd been living alone and supporting themselves on errands and odd jobs ever since their family tragically died in a bandit attack a few years ago. And Hectic, my mischievous little tiefling gremlin boy, who was a strange, feral child with no memories that lived in the woods, who would occasionally come into town to prank the locals or sneak into the local wizard's tower to teach himself magic. What? I made a campaign where I repeatedly tried to kill my friends with locomotives and cyborg zombies. You think I'm not going to play a little shit disturber? Anyway, our adventure began with Hope over at Valorian's tower. You see, Hope wasn't the only apprentice Valorian had. He had been training an older girl named Anna, who was actually living with him at the time. Hope arrived at the tower only to find that Anna wasn't there, and Valorian was getting to get worried. He had sent her out on some errands earlier that day, and she hadn't been back since. So Valorian tasked Hope with finding out where Anna had gotten off to, and suggested rounding up some of the local kids to help. Hope figured it would be best to find help first. The town was small and quiet, but pretty spread out, so she figured that more hands would help get the work done faster. Unfortunately, Miles rolled to see who she would find, and she got Hectic.
Hello, Hectic. I could use your... what are you doing?
Well, hey, Hope. I'm just, using some extra eggs.
So, you're selling them?
Yeah, sure, whatever, what do you want?
Okay, I'm actually looking for Anna. Could you help me look for her?
Oh god, they're everywhere!
Yeah, sure, looking for whoever, let's go.
So Hope filled Hectic in on the situation, and the two of them decided they should find Lloyd next, figuring that everyone in town really liked Lloyd, and if he didn't know where Anna was, he would have the easiest time finding out. Ha ha! Attaboy, Lloyd. You're doing so well, scraping by for yourself with petty labor while squatting in the abandoned house where your family were murdered. Oh yes, such a nice, well-adjusted boy who isn't suffering from massive repressed trauma. Aye, I bet you never get spooky offers from demonic forces creeping into the corners of your mind at night, tempting you to acts of evil for coin and revenge.
No, yeah, I mean, that would be crazy. I'm a totally well-adjusted and not suicidally vengeful.
The two explained the situation to Lloyd, who left to go ask around town to see if anyone knew what had happened to Anna. While Lloyd gathered information, Hectic and Hope went off to find Rose, since she was the biggest and toughest kid in town and had access to tools in case something bad had happened to Anna.
Mr. Gold, can Rose come out to play?
Please, Dad, can I?
No, you are still grounded after you nearly maimed Mr. Wolf's cart horse with one of your spears.
Please, Mr. Gold, we just need her help looking for Anna, the wizard's apprentice.
Anna? Well, I suppose that one is a good child, unlike that Hectic kid. Okay, just leave your spears in your room and don't get into trouble.
Yay!
Yo, Lloyd says Anna got grabbed by bandits, so we're super gonna need your spears, Rose.
Yay!
Oh, hey, Mr. Gold.
That's right. Lloyd quickly found out that a small gang of bandits had escaped custody on the outskirts of town, where Anna had happened to be gathering herbs that morning. Our party of kids assumed the worst, that Anna had been jumped and kidnapped by escaped criminals who would be either holding her for ransom or using her as leverage to escape the area. Cocky and foolish, our party set out to rescue Anna from the bandits. Knowing things could get dangerous, the kids stopped by the local alchemist and borrowed a handful of healing potions just in case something bad happened. Kitted out, they headed to the caves just south of town and found a single bandit guarding the entrance.
Well, what do we have here?
Stranger danger!
With first blood drawn and our party of 9-year-old children thoroughly emotionally scarred, all bets were off. Lloyd took the bandit's sword and the team of 9-year-olds entered the cave network, looking for their lost friend despite the danger they all knew lurked inside. A group of 3 brigands quickly emerged from the darkness, menacing our young heroes. And Hectic cast Burning Hands, setting them on fire and killing them in a flash of searing pain and agony.
Oh god, that's horrible!
I mean, they were trying to kill us.
A second group of bandits wasted no time and attacked our party of kids, having heard the commotion from the previous room, and after a bit of skirmishing, Hectic used his racial ability to cast Burning Hands again and killed them all.
Is it a good or a bad thing that it felt way less scary the second time you kill 3 men at once?
A third group of bandits rushed our young heroes, looking to pin Hectic behind cover so they could surround Rose and pick our heroes off one by one. But then Rose used her Dragon Breath ability and yet again reduced the threat to a heaping pile of ashes in an instant.
Hooray!
Oh God.
What? Hectic does it twice and it's fine, and I do it and everyone freaks out?
With the last group of bandits smoldering, our party found themselves in a dark, dry room packed with stolen goods and crates. Off in the distance, our young heroes could hear their friend Anna calling out for help behind a makeshift barricade. Everyone rushed over to free Anna, except for Hectic, who stayed behind and began looting. What? He was a homeless child living in the woods. You would want to nab some stuff too. Unfortunately, though, party weren't the only ones still left in the caves.
Really? A pint-sized little kid is what caused all this trouble. Give me one good reason I shouldn't kill you, runt.
You think I'm scared of you? I murdered 6 men today and I haven't even finished developing a concept of mortality yet. Hubris.
Having just freed Anna, our young heroes came to rescue their now unconscious friend Hectic, rushing into their first real fight of that day. They made quick work of the bandits, knocking them all out and tying them up before stabilizing Hectic. Having successfully saved their friends, the young party dragged the bandits to a nearby guard patrol and were hailed by the townsfolk as heroes, who were totally not horrified that a group of 9-year-olds had snuck into a cave on the edge of town and brutally slayed 10 hardened criminals. Yoo-hoo! After this, our young heroes settled into their regular routines for the next few years and grew up. Lloyd would be found by a local noble and got adopted, moving into the capital and trying to become a knight. Rose would eventually take up a career as a traveling merchant, making contacts and ultimately growing broke. Hope completed her apprenticeship with a Valorian, mastering her powers and returning home to her family in the capital's main church. Finally, Hectic ended up having to pay off the healing potion that was used to save his life by working as an apprentice for the town alchemist for a few years, before running away with a band of regionally famous adventurers to study under their party wizard. Eventually, these children, now teenagers, would be called back to Crossroads by Valorian, and would begin a long and eventful series of adventures all their own. But that is a story for another time.